Hello Vanessa, thank you so much for being with us today and welcome to Tonalités de Femmes. So first of all, I know that you are often traveling by Thalys.
Yes.
What are the key points to a successful trip?
Oh God, with the Thalys, well, I guess booking in advance. I always leave mine a little too late, but if you know when you're going, then go online. Also, just make sure that you don't have an Apple computer because the software doesn't work. And believe me, I've been through the whole customer service team and they have one really good person and she calls me. But no, so survival on the Thalys is planning and a good internet connection if you're expecting that. Also a good book with you. And also sometimes you get to sit next to some really cool people.
Vanessa, could you tell us about your expertise in global marketing? What are your principal skills and biggest challenges?
Well, I've been doing it for a long time. I'm 44 in December and I was 19 when I first went into PR and marketing. So it's several decades. But what actually I really love doing is that I love taking a really complicated message and simplifying it and taking it out there and finding opportunities to make it relevant to what's going on in the lives of the people that matter. And a lot of the time that's for corporates and sometimes it's for consumers as well. And my biggest challenges is really, they haven't really changed. I think the challenge remains the same to find. So I think working with people that really, even if they don't understand marketing or don't have it as a principal skill, respect it and give you the freedom to run with their brand and their company a little bit, to take it further and to take them out of their comfort zones. And that's actually a question I put to a couple of clients. How comfortable are you coming out of your comfort zone? So I work quite a lot with really inspiring entrepreneurial people because they work in technology, and this is like them handing over their precious baby or their new puppy dog or their new sports car to a woman even, and someone they don't know, but you have to win that trust. I think it's a big part, and thank God with age you get a reputation, and if it's a good one that really helps. When I was younger that was a challenge, so that's really the main thing on that.
How do you create balance in your organization of frequent travel and your family life?
Well, it's a challenge. Every day I think it's what am I doing today, and it's a balancing act that changes every day. First of all, I couldn't do any of it without my husband. He works for himself, he's building up his own business, and he works from home a lot, as do I, so he's really flexible. And also I have his sisters who live nearby and they help us with the children sometimes. And my daughter is 11, coming on soon to be 12, and my son is 3, and so she's at school and he's at daycare, and they both love it there most of the time, and so that really helps. And so I think that's the practical side. The emotional side is hard. Sometimes I can be physically here with my family and my head's still in a discussion or thinking about a storyline or an issue we've got for something, or sending an invoice or thinking about what I should be doing. And sometimes it's the same the other way around. I'm at work and I'm thinking, oh yeah, my son was coughing all last night, I hope he's all right. But at the moment, because I'm in a kind of new phase with my career, it's more of the former. It's more that's taking up too much at the moment, but that's understandable, and my husband and family are pretty understanding. They're good.
Vanessa, I know that you are very active on social media.
Yeah.
How do you see your children using this form of communication in the future?
Well, my daughter, as I mentioned, is almost 12, and so she's on Hives here in Holland. And actually she's my stepdaughter, and her mum set up the account and they did it very well, so she's very protected. So I think the social networks like Facebook and Hives in Holland and are under huge pressure to be very transparent with the privacy and the protection of everybody and their data. And so there is a lot of things you can do now to protect who you interact with and who sees your content. But the bottom line is you put it up on the internet, it's out there. why would you trust Facebook more than Flickr, more than any of the others? It's still someone else's technology. And I think if you keep that in mind, then every time you think, oh, that's a really cute photo I took of my 2-year-old or my 3-year-old, and you pop it up there on a social network, that child didn't choose that. You chose to put it there, so you take the risk. And that's part of being a grown-up, I guess. But for your children, it's a very good question. So for Jules, for instance, when she's on Hives, she is interacting with a group of people that is pretty known. She also, we're very open about it. I know her mum is as well, and so she shows me stuff. She's really into gymnastics. She shows me some really funny videos. Some of them are just really, really funny spoofs of something, and I get a little glimpse into what her world really looks like. And that's all part of, I think we're very lucky that we've made it something that we talk about, and she tries to talk about it with us. We use it as well, and that helps a little bit. I see dilemmas of parents being banned from their kids' Facebook pages and the other way around. We haven't got that dilemma yet. It's also a great form of self-expression. I remember as a child when I wanted to talk about things, and my friends weren't with me at that point in time, and it's stuff I wanted to talk to my girlfriends about. I'd run up these huge phone bills, and my parents would get off the phone. They'd pick up the phone downstairs, you're on the phone again. And I remember sneaking off to a room trying to make a phone call. I think this is the equivalent. And so the more open you are, and we try and limit the amount of time. She has screen time, and that could be TV, phone, whatever it is with the screen. But again, it's about the communication. I'm not saying it's easy. She wants to do more than we allow sometimes, but I'm not actually worried about Jules, because we've sort of learnt social networking together. It was all new for all of us at the same time. But with Gilles coming along, I think I hopefully have a little bit of a head start on him, so I can be more informed. And I just hope he learns to just respect people anyway, whether they're talking to them on Facebook or whether they're talking to them on the street. There was a story that was posted to Facebook, and I'll try and remember to post it to your Facebook page as well. And it really, it was quite inspiring. A mother wrote a letter to her daughter, and her daughter was a young tween, I think, or young teenager. And it's a sad story because the mother had learnt about a boy that had been caught in an intimate situation with another boy by other kids at his college, and they had posted that video, and the boy took his life. And she wrote a letter to her daughter in a beautiful way to say, I want this to be a lesson you learn, and not just not to be mean to people, but to know that things move on, life moves on. You might think it's the end of the world right now, but it will get better and it will be all right. And I just thought, oh, God, that's great. I'm going to print this out and keep it.
And Vanessa, on a different tone, please could you tell us the 3 main qualities of your best female friend?
Oh, gosh. Oh, if I haven't spoken to her ages, it doesn't matter. She's there. I just know it's unconditional. It's the nearest thing to a family, I guess. And I can just be me, and she's just her, and it's so easy. She's also someone who tells me the truth and tells me honestly about things. She's just honest, and I trust her. I think you just got to listen to your instincts on so much in life, and I didn't do that until I was way into my 30s, and she's someone who's always listened to them quite well, actually. So I don't know if that was 3 or 4, but
Thank you very, very much, Vanessa.
It's a pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you.